In other news tonight, the national flag carrier Bahamasair is back in full operation mode after a number of its flights were delayed this weekend. The delays lasted for 2 days, inconveniencing hundreds of passengers. Our Dawn Davis spoke to the Bahamasair managing director and passengers on the episode.
The past weekend was a nightmare for nearly 300 frustrated Bahamasair passengers on flights between the Bahamas, Miami, and Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Alan Hernandez and Richard Curry are among them. Both say they are disappointed in the lack of communication and information provided regarding their flights.
I've been here since 1 o'clock yesterday, and at 2 o'clock this morning they canceled 3 flights. My cousin had an 8:30 flight. I had a 3:30 flight. My cousin is back in Fort Lauderdale. I'm still in Nassau.
We've been here yesterday since 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and pretty much, it's just like we've been lied to all this process. They keep telling us nothing but false information, and the lack of communication is just horrific. They kept us here till 3 in the morning and then told us that the flights were canceled.
Managing Director of Bahamasair Tracy Cooper said a number of issues played a factor in the operational malfunction of one of its fleet's 3 jets.
The aircraft was out of service. We were able to bring it back online last night. And the combination of the jet being out of service along with normal weather delays resulted in us having to have a backup situation. The aircraft is like any technical piece of equipment, will have faults from time to time, and this was an electrical fault on the aircraft that required some detailed troubleshooting by the technical staff.
Cooper says July and August are the airline's peak traveling season and says with the heavy volume, incidents like this can be expected to happen. Now he says services are back to normal.
Bahamasair will be operating at not just the normal flights. Obviously we have 3 flights that we have to take care of as backup flights. So we'll be operating those additional airplanes with a combination of both the jets and with the prop ATRs. At the end of the day, we expect that by mid-afternoon that we'll be back on schedule with all of our operations.
And when it comes to accommodations for those stranded passengers, Cooper said the airline did what it could to meet their demands.
It is a busy time both in Florida as well here in the Bahamas, and we did the best that we could in trying to reaccommodate and even putting some passengers up that had very extended delays. Unfortunately, when we're talking about the size numbers that we're talking about, we were not able to accommodate everybody.
Cooper says all affected passengers will be compensated based on their circumstances and assured the public that passengers will return home by the end of the day. Dawn Davis, ZNS Network News.